Uh, my name is Loewenstein, and I'm here today joined with my fellow UT engineers.
Cade, Lacey,
Yuzu, George Lawrence,
Andrew Dampf,
Vivian, Nguyen.
And we're here today to present our proposal for locking bike racks, which we believe will make us campus more secure, and we hope to convince you of the same by the end of this. So what's our goal? Considering this is a grant proposal, our goal is pretty clear. It's to secure funding to implement our solution to bike theft on the UT Austin campus, which is something that we see far too often, unfortunately. How we go about accomplishing our goal, we'll begin by defining the problem, stressing the severity of the problem, and how it affects students. We'll go into the causes of this problem, and then how our solution, which comes in the form of widespread bike racks with a locking arm to help secure bikes, and then how our solution goes right at the causes of the problem. How we implement our solution, we'll start with just a few bike racks, how we grow that, and then how we evaluate its success and how we maintain it, things like that. And at the end, we'll open it up to Q&A.
bike racks are a very huge issue on the UT campus, mainly because of their effects on student health and student stress levels. It's recently been reported by UTPD that 25 bikes have already been stolen in just the short spring term alone. This is a very huge issue as it increases student stress. Additionally, this is likely a very underreported number due to UTPD maybe not receiving these reports or just not having the time to address them. Additionally, many of these thefts happen with the security of knowing that your bike is safe. At the University of California, it's recently been reported that they have seen 92% of their bike thefts occur when their bikes were locked and secured.
So of the 92% that Cade just mentioned, 50% of the bikes that were stolen off racks were securely locked with e-locks. E-lock is a very common tool to secure your bike, and unfortunately it's very cheap and easy for students to achieve. So it's $14 on Amazon, and as per these numbers, with nearly 50% of bikes stolen having e-locks, it's very ineffective. And students are going to keep on using these because of their easy availability and cheap cost. So we decided that we need to find another solution to provide students with that's more effective.
The solution. So we'll create a specialized bike rack to reduce theft here on campus. This will include a locking arm that is made of steel and a lot harder material. So traditional methods to steal bikes from U-locks or other locks won't work on this. We'll use student IDs to create a verification process that allows students to lock and unlock their bikes. So this can be used by faculty and students here on UT. This solution includes a startup cost and then also annual cost. As demonstrated by the graph, our startup cost is $15,000. This includes labor, training, installation. And then the annual cost will be a lot cheaper and worth the investment. This will include maintenance, replacing batteries, general cleaning, and then keeping the software up to date so students are able to use it. With all this in mind, we hope to achieve our ultimate goal of reducing bike theft by 50% in our selected areas. Implementation. So first, we'll design and work with local engineering facilities or faculty here at UT to help design our locking bike racks. After we design this, we'll do an initial rollout in our identified high theft areas. After a semester, we'll see how our performance was. We'll see if we achieved our goal of 50% reduced theft, and then we'll also get student surveys and see if they have a positive feedback to our bike racks. If we achieve this goal, then we'll expand to hopefully all bike racks here on campus, and then we'll continue to monitor these systems and collect surveys from students. With all this in mind, we hope to achieve a better sustainable living, which bikes help create, and also campus security.
The implementation of our locking bike rack system, we encourage the idea of beneficence or to do good. We do this by reducing student stress levels through allowing them the peace of mind to know that their bike is more secure and is safer while on campus while they attend their classes, providing them with the ability to focus on their academic studies. Additionally, by implementing this system, bike theft will reduce, ultimately allowing UTPD to focus on more higher level crimes, creating a safe and secure campus that not only entices new high school students to come to the University of Texas, but also gives current students the peace of mind and the safety that they are 100% likely to be safe.
Alright, for our evaluation section of this project, we're mainly looking for ways that our locking bike rack decreases theft in high activity areas on campus, and also decreases stress for students that commute to campus with bikes. And the first way we'll do this is we'll draw data from the UTPD website, where we'll compare 3 months before implementation of our solution for the number of bike thefts reported, and after implementation, we'll compare that number before with number of bike thefts after 3 months. And we're trying to look for a general decrease of 50% or more in bike thefts. And then secondly, we're gonna perform a case study for UT students on campus that commute with a bike. And it's a survey with 3 main metrics. The first question is what type of bike lock they use, chain lock, U-lock, O-lock, or cable lock. Second question is whether or not they feel the lock is secure. And then third question is whether or not it's a hassle to lock their bike every single time. And this is before implementation, and then after implementation, we'll do the same survey, but on question 1, we'll add the answer choice of the locking bike rack system. And what we're looking for in this survey is whether or not our locking bike rack is seen as more secure and less of a hassle than at least 2 of the 4 main bike locks being used right now. And for the argumentation section, we're looking, most people would argue that the bike registration system is a better solution. It's also cheaper than what we have right now. But to give context for what the registration system is, it's basically a website where you can register your bike online, and you'll get a license plate sticker to put on your bike. And if it ever gets stolen and recovered by someone, then they can identify it back to you and return it to you. But there's a few problems that come with this. First one is that bike registration systems are everywhere, but there's too many of them. So there's statewide and local ones, but if you ever lost your bike in your city and use a local bike registration system, you wouldn't be able to contact everyone in your city. You'd only be able to ping the people that use your system specifically to help recover your bike. But it also takes way too much time to recover the bike in general, where students on campus don't have that time because you're losing precious minutes of your day just adding to the commute because you don't have your bike anymore, which you can spend that lost time doing the homework or studying for your exams and whatnot. And also, one problem that comes with the registration system is that most people wouldn't even identify bike thefts happening, where on a high activity campus like UT Austin, there's so much sensory overload where you're always distracted, always rushing to class. Most people wouldn't notice that your bike's getting stolen. But even if it gets stolen, most people wouldn't even try to confront the bike theft because they wouldn't want to deal with an aggressive confrontation just to help someone's bike from getting stolen that you don't even know.
In conclusion, we've decided that a self-locking bike rack is the most effective and cost-effective way to reduce bike theft across campus. We're looking for funding to support this solution, and just overall, we think that securing bikes will have a big impact on improving student life by reducing financial, emotional, and academic stress for students. Bikes are expensive. It can be like $400 to $1,000 per bike. Students that are not making an income and already are often financially stressed by attending college, this is a big benefit for students. Students can't feel secure when they're in their classes knowing that their bike could get stolen even when it's locked. And this just overall increases stress of students, which is unnecessary at an already stressful time in their life. Our pilot of testing the bike rack at the most commonly theft places will enable our broad implementation across campus if we see a 50% reduction in bike theft. And overall, it will just make a safer and more appealing campus for students, which supports positivity, well-being, and safety values across campus, just by reducing malicious activity and theft of private property.
Alright, for the first question, is initial investment plus any maintenance cost worth it?
Yeah, so the initial investment is around $15,000, and follow-up maintenance is about $2,000 to $3,000 every year. This is very, very effective because when you're looking at bikes that are $400 to $1,000, you're looking at anything between like $10,000 to $25,000 or more of theft per semester, and that sum is much larger than maintenance costs and the startup cost.
Yeah, for the second question, what's an example of how you will work with engineering faculty to finalize the design?
Well, one main way we can work with engineering faculty is working with the material science department to find a better material that is cheaper and also durable. So it's a material that's durable enough to prevent theft, but also cheap enough to increase access across campus for everyone to use.
So how is this solution better than UT's investment into a bike storage facility?
Yeah, sure. So the main bike storage facility, actually the only one on campus, is in East Campus, and that's kind of out of the way for most students considering a lot of the major living hubs are in West and North Campus. So the time efficiency isn't great there. Secondly, they charge to use the bike facility. It's upwards of $70 to store your bike there for a whole year. If you're using that bike facility for your 4 years here or even more going up to a master's, you're almost paying for the same amount you would if your bike got stolen one time here at your tenure at UT. And by charging this, they're not promoting environmentally friendliness. Biking is very environmentally friendly. By charging for them to use this, they might fall back on other transportation methods like driving or taking the bus, which are much less environmentally friendly.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope you consider our proposal.